He's a fan favourite who's been off the air for far too long. But John Burgess is back after a few tough years that have taken their toll. Now Burjo's Wheel of Fortune has gone full circle, giving the TV veteran a fresh spin.
And now, here's the #1 wheelie, John Burgess!
Thank you very much, and welcome.
A familiar face and voice.
Hey, John Burgess with you here on 6PR. Can you believe it? Yes, he's bobbed up again, I can hear you saying.
Baby John Burgess, or as he's also affectionately known, Burjo, back behind the mic almost 60 years after he first stepped behind it.
I'm excited, there's no question about that. At this stage of my life, to be starting something sort of new in this business, I guess is probably a bit unique. Because I'm not the youngest person around, Brittany.
And to think you started out as baby, the youngest.
Yeah. Yes, thanks for remembering.
Broadcasting legend began his career in 1965 thanks to fellow radio great and recent retiree John Laws.
What a career he's had. So I don't dare try and compare myself to him, of course, but it's been sort of a bit similar in longevity.
In 1984, Wheel of Fortune made Burjo a family favourite. Catchphrase cementing his status as a TV legend.
And now welcome the star of the show, John Burgess!
Thank you very much, and welcome once again to Burjo's Catchphrase.
Let's go back to the catchphrases then. Linda's on $85 and Joe's on $200.
His decades spent hosting still see him stopped on Perth streets today.
Hi, how you going?
Lovely to see you.
Goodness me.
What a marvellous man you are.
Well, that's very kind of you.
He used to listen to you on the Sydney radio
I used
station.
to listen to you on 2SM.
Oh,
Sydney, I think you were only 19.
2UW would have been, yes.
2UW.
Yeah.
Yeah, get
Yeah.
the facts right.
Yeah.
And to still be going at 81.
Yeah, it's
What keeps you going? Why the return to radio again?
well, you know, I've had a lot of friends who have run big companies, you know, with 2,000, 3,000 sort of employees and things, and they retire and they play golf every day of the week for about 2 months, and then about 6 months later you hear that they're dead, you know, and they bored themselves to death. So I think it's always good to keep your mind and brain active. So that's what I've always tried to do.
Despite his long-standing career, it hasn't always been smooth sailing for Burjo. A health scare 2 years ago almost cost the former game show host his life. The then 78-year-old rushed to Royal Perth Hospital with sepsis.
I was in ICU for 5 days. They filled me full of antibiotics. I had tubes and things all over me. Most of the time I was not here. It hasn't been all a bowl of cherries, I can assure you.
He's now an advocate for the Australian Sepsis Network, using his public profile to raise awareness, while still finding time for his first passion, broadcasting, returning to the airways for 6PR in Perth, hosting the afternoon shift.
This is a bit different to anything you've done before.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've interviewed a lot of people over the years. You know, that's not a problem. And I've spoken to a lot of listeners as well with competitions and things, but to actually choose a subject and get them to talk about it and me supposedly then give maybe some advice, yeah, it's going to be challenging.
One thing's for sure, Burjo has the people behind him.
Magnificent. What station?
On 6PR.
Okay.
Yeah, so a bit of talk and a bit of Burjo nonsense and give a few things away.
Well, we'll have to listen.
Yeah.
Intently. I'll set the alarm.
12.
I miss you on 6AX.
Thank you. Yeah, that's very kind of you. Yeah, so yeah, a bit of a new episode in the Burjo pile of
And
life.
you keep going forever and a day.
Well,
I've got to be honest with you.
No stopping him, no slowing down. If you could go back and talk to yourself starting out in your young 20s, what would he say if you told him you'll still be going in your 80s?
Dream on, probably. Out of your mind. This is what I do. This is what I've done since I was reasonably young. So if I can keep doing this, I'd like to keep doing it until, you know, I fall over again one morning and this time don't get up.
Oh, it's great to see him back, and good to see Burjo's still got that trademark sense of humour after all the battles he's had health-wise in recent years. Burjo, we wish you well.